Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Stadia Rokks. That was very formal, wasn't it, Dunk?
What's this? You being formal? What's that all about now? Come on.
It's because of this. Do you know what? I blame Cloudburst, mate. Let me just drag you over here so I can look at you. Yeah, I'm looking you in the face now. Look at that. That's cool. I blame Cloud. What are you doing? You can't be moving me around. I'm getting seasick here, pal.
Sorry, came with us.
He's a little scamp, isn't he, ladies and gentlemen? We should. Do you know what we should do? A Stadia Rokks children's show, should we? Really, we could like little puppets and stuff. It'd be really cool. Chat, how are you? Great to see you. Great to see so many of you. What? What do you want?
I know you being all formal again, ladies and gentlemen. Like, come on.
Okay, shall I go back to formality? Welcome to Stadia Rokks. Actually, we do need a little bit of formality because you may have noticed there's only two of us tonight. Sadly, Raph can't make it. He's actually got work and family commitments, and sadly, he can't make Stadia Rokks ever. So we wish absolute best to Raph. He's a gorgeous, gorgeous man, and we've had such fun having him with us. But sadly, he can't make it anymore. But he is, and you may have noticed, he's still doing streaming in the morning, which is the kind of time that works for Raph with all of his various commitments. So do check out doing some great game streams. But more on that later. We'll have an announcement to make. Yes, who will we be bringing in as our new third co-host? Watch this space. I think you'll be very excited. We certainly are. Duncan, how has your week been so far?
It has been interesting. I am now feeling a bit better, which is good. I'm now getting lots of pain relief for me being sore over the last month.
Is this in pursuit of marathon running? Is this?
Yes, I seems to have messed up my leg again really bad, so I have to knock that in the head for the time being. But apart that, been a real exciting week. I got a new baby this week, so it's giving that a word.
You and several million other people, I have to say, mate, all roughly the same time.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I've got it unboxed here, and Kelly's going to be doing the unboxing of hers at this tomorrow, I'm hoping. So there's
literally millions of people that are saying, "Yeah, I've been with my ex all day." What?
Oh, can I do some breaking news about Xbox? It's cloud related. It's cloud related.
Okay. So Xbox, not Stadia.
Yeah, is expanding its reaches out, and they have just announced that they are going to Australia, Brazil, Mexico, and Japan starting November the 18th. So next week they have expanded out. So I think that's some big news there, especially the Brazilian and Japanese markets. I think that is going to cause some ripples.
We sort of knew. I mean, they announced they were moving to those territories a while back, hadn't they?
Yeah.
So it's not absolutely new in that respect.
So what I'm expecting is probably maybe that might get Stadia rolling out to them territories now as well. So we may hear it's going to cause and effect sort of thing. We may see that going forward now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, we're already starting to see, we'll move across into the news in a second. We're already starting to see stuff happening, as we suspected we would, didn't we? Come November, come the anniversary month, we thought that's probably when we're going to start seeing all these things, all the kind of expansions and feature rollouts and everything else happening. So it's good to see some of that taking shape. So what have you been playing on your Xbox then, have you? It's been mainly your last few days.
Yep, I've been playing on my Xbox. I will make a confession time here. I said I was going to play Assassin's Creed on GeForce Now and Stadia. I couldn't resist. I have bought it on Xbox, and I've been given that a word, and I'm really enjoying that. And I've also been playing some of the first party ones as well. So yeah, I think you can't really avoid not talking about Xbox. I don't think we will be able to avoid talking about PlayStation next week, because it'll be PlayStation Eve for us next week.
Yeah, well, I've been playing Destiny 2 on Stadia and loving it. Oh wow, what an absolute upgrade that is. Amazing on every level, story and quality, just brilliant.
Yeah.
Played any of it, have you? Or have you?
I've played a bit of Destiny as well. I have played the first mission. It's brilliant fun. You can't beat it. And just to be completely even here, I have got the full expansion on Stadia. I have got. I went for the super duper edition on Stadia, so that's where I'll be playing Destiny 2 for a bit as well.
We've also got to mention, Dunk, that we're literally, what are we now, 2 weekends away, or a weekend and a bit away from Stadia Super Saturday, November the 21st. That is going to be one huge event. It's what, how many hours? 36 hours or something?
Yep, 36 hours. And it starts at 11 a.m. UK time, which is 6 a.m. Eastern, and it goes on for them 36 hours. Stadia Source is kicking it off, so check out their channel to see that. So yeah, it's going to be real interesting.
It's going to be amazing.
A real big event. And there's some people not taking part, but more or less it's everybody in the Stadia community or the Stadia creator community is taking part during at some stage, so it is definitely worth checking that out.
You guys will be concluding the whole proceeding, so Stadia Source is starting it and then Cloudy are ending it. Is that how it works?
Yep, that's how it's working. We're over us, Cloudy. We're closing it off here, and there may be something interesting to finish it off with. That's what I am going to say there.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, everybody is doing something. We're doing a cloud burst. It's usual 6 o'clock on a Saturday that we do anyway now. It's our new sort of permanent time for Cloudburst. So we're going to be doing a Stadia Saturday, Super Saturday special edition. So make sure you pop along to see that one on the 21st. Right, plugs away. Should we move across to the news?
Okay, shall we?
Let's do it.
The latest news from Stadia.
All right, here we go, Dunk. So I'm just going to get rid of Super Saturday. There it goes. Goodbye. What have you got? What have you got to? Now we've gone and plumbed the depths of cloudywithachanceofgames.com, and the first news, which is probably one of the biggest pieces of news for the week, was that if you already have, and this is the bizarre thing that I still can't get my head around, if you already have YouTube Premium, you could grab yourself a free Stadia Premier Edition worth 90 smackers for free.
Absolutely amazing value there. Can you complain about that for being free? Everybody jump on that if you're eligible. It is also available in the United States, and apparently I'm still waiting for this to actually roll out. I have seen it reported in a number of places that it's going to be rolling out to other territories and countries as well. So really good. It has picked up a lot of traction. There's a lot of people actually jumping on board with it. So, and it's bringing people into Stadia from who have been, we'll say quite nicely, skeptical about Stadia. They are going to actually get this. So this is actually doing it. I'm not sure if we want to go down the speculation route on why they're doing this, but it is it's a good offer, and no one can really complain about that.
Why though, Dunk? I mean, what's the advantage? You know, when I look at a free meal or a gift horse, I tend to think there's something at the end of this. You know, you don't get given something for nothing. And if I'm already a premium subscriber, it's not luring me in. In actual fact, if you went and signed up for YouTube Premium and then went to grab this, you aren't eligible because you had to have it when they made it available. So what's in it for Google? I don't get it. Oh, they're just nice people.
Are we going for the positive reason or the negative
No,
reason?
I mean, I'm asking your opinion because obviously
Okay.
we don't know that. We don't know, do we? So this is Duncan's opinion. We can put, opinion.
Opinion. Okay. I to be honest, I'm not sure what way to read this. It doesn't mean sitting on the fence because I can see both ways they're doing this. I will go for the positive. Duncan's opinion. Oh, geez. It should be a warning sign.
Yeah, we should put a big sort of triangle up with an exclamation mark in it, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I will. This reminds me of what happened with OnLive. The best way to play Stadia, I think most people will concede this, is on the TV with the Chromecast and the 100%. Controller.
Yep.
What this is, the positive spin is they're just trying to get this out from the hands of people just to say this works, this is working really, really well. The negative reason you could go for this is them just dumping the stock because the next Chromecast is basically ready to go here, and they're trying to just get rid of it because they're just dumping the stock basically. But I think it may be a slight. It's a slight, maybe a mix of both. They are just trying to get it out there so people can actually get it into their hands and actually try it. The same way they're just trying to get rid of it because of the new Chromecast.
I was talking to Clive last night, funny enough, after, as we do for quite some time when we finish Generation X. By the way, guys, Generation X is now on Twitch, and last night was one of the best episodes. It's absolutely hilarious. Go and check it out on Twitch. Generation X Gaming Club. There's nobody else called that on Twitch. Just look for us and have a chuckle. But Clive made a really good point, and that was that he's been heavily invested in Google for years. He's got, if it's something Google have made, Clive's got it around his house somewhere, so he's got all the nests and everything else. But he was saying how he's got stuff for free over the years from Google in a similar fashion with no obvious strings attached. He calls it the Google way. It's just the Google way. It's almost like a loyalty thing. And I suppose in one sense you could look at it and positively say, if people think by being part of the Google club that occasionally they get this stuff for free because they've invested in it, then it might be an incentive to be in it in the first place. So it's a sort of a play on the incentive, sort of incentivizing customers, I guess.
Yeah, but you could go that way as well. Like I said, it is really, really hard to actually call what way this is going.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't actually. How often do you think I sit on the fence? It's not very.
Well, let's just say you got splinters up your arse, mate. Let's be honest here.
Yes. Yeah. So there could be numerous ways of reading this. My initial thought, and I will be honest, which I am normally, my initial thought was panic mode. Panic mode. They are trying to get rid of this, and they are just trying to dump these out to get rid of them. Giving it a bit more thought, I have went slightly more positive. They're just trying to get it out into people's hands because it's actually had a big positive impact out there.
Yeah. I tend to feel it. I mean, it's a difficult one. I must admit, and you know me, I'm a bit of I like to think these things through. I get a bit too Sherlock Holmesy, and I kind of feel it's more in the incentive mode than not. The only thing I'm annoyed about is that literally 2 days before I cancelled YouTube Premium because I was fed up to the back teeth with not being able to get family groups set up for my kids on Stadia. So I thought, right, damn you, I cancelled it. And then next day they said, we're trolling you, Rokk. We're giving everybody else Google Stadia Premier Edition. So what have I got to do? I've upset the great Google gods.
I just want to call this out as well, just as I remember, there are reports that if you're in a family share, you can claim it for each person in your family.
See what I'm saying here?
Yeah, so it's absolutely. Yeah, so not to annoy you more there, but yeah, that is the.
Oh man! Actually, I've got a bit of news on that front. I had a little fella from Google contact me this afternoon. He reckons he can resurrect my not resurrector, but resurrect my family account and get my kids back in. So too late for me to claim a Premier Edition, but watch this space, and if I get any joy, I will let the whole Twitter sphere know about it, because I do things like that. So that's good. Right. Okay. What else have we got on the old Stadia news front, Dunk? Have you got anything else on your side?
I think you want to jump over to Stadia source.
Okay. Can do that. So one that we've got here, which is very interesting, and this is on, as Duncan just said, this is on stadiasource.com. Is that a new, and I know Jem did a video on this, and I think The Verge wrote an article, basically, that there looks to be some code hidden away that indicates that we may be much, much closer to Stadia on iOS devices than we've been led to believe. What do you know about this?
Yeah, Jem at his work, and not his work when he's playing games, which is very naughty when he's playing games. He's done his digging here, and he has seen some things which seem to indicate that iPhones are on the, I'm not going to say the horizon, they're in the thoughts of Google anyway. What we will say here, Jem does amazing work here. Adam from Stadia Source does it as well. Amazing work going through the APKs.
Yeah.
When they go through this does not mean this is coming anytime soon. Sometimes, I think Jem would say this as well, they have found things which haven't actually came to pass as yet. And some things they have found have came to pass maybe instantly, and they jump straight back into it, or they're there the next week. So yes, it is good that there seems to be movement this way, but don't be thinking this could be next week. It could be next week. It could be 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line. So it's just in your thoughts.
I mean, we know that obviously Stadia want you to be able to play on your iOS device, so it's not beyond the wit to assume that they would prepare for it. And it's also fair to assume that they're working towards it as well, as you say, whether that's in the coming days or weeks or months, we don't know, do we? So Jem says, I didn't put this on Twitter. This is Jem's conceding here. I didn't put this on Twitter or make a video because it's not good content enough. But after I made that video, there's been much more Safari codes on current Stadia pages. So yeah, I mean, that's fair enough, Jem. Obviously, we're picking this up from Stadia Source, and you're basically concurring with what Duncan's saying. That and as I say, it will come eventually, and we've seen. I think the straw that broke the camel's back is probably the fact that Luna is working on iOS devices. So a pathway has been struck, which makes it very difficult for Apple to segregate other platforms. So whether it's in the same manner or whether they're working towards a different end objective remains to be seen. But I think after that, it's fairly safe to assume that it's merely a matter of time. So yeah, good stuff.
Yep, I'm just going to add into that. I think it is just a matter of time, because we know Xbox is coming, and we also know GeForce Now is coming. The GeForce Now story was wrote by the BBC, and the Xbox was by the head honcho himself over at Xbox, just to say it's coming, just when it's coming.
On that GeForce one, have they actually officially said when it's rolling out to iOS?
No, they have not said. The BBC article has said that it's coming soon. And GeForce Now are not commenting on it at this moment in time.
Oh, okay. Okie dokie. But again, another one where we know it's coming. I mean, it's it's a matter of time. It's funny, isn't it, how everything revolves around iOS, and yet you can pretty much play it anywhere else that you want to. Right, so that's a great story there from Stadia Source. Another big one, there have been a couple of updates this week to the Chrome, the browser experience for Stadia. This one is the ability to copy your shares. And sorry, go on.
Just going to say that is now available on phones, including iOS.
What is? Oh, on the actual main app. I thought, my God, we're now on iOS, and you didn't say it 2 seconds ago.
No, the sharing of clips is now available on iOS as well.
Right. So go on. What is this all about, Dunk, anyway?
It is about something which I have been yapping and hollering for him to do for the last year, basically. It is being able to share your clips nice and quickly on Twitter and everywhere else. It's not the solution I would have wanted, but it is a solution anyway. So basically what happens is, as you can see, when you take your screenshots and whatnot, your captures, you haven't been able to share them now. Now you're given a link which actually puts your captures out there, and you can put it onto Twitter, you can put it on Facebook, you can email people because it's just a link rather than the video.
Gotcha. So that's now everywhere except for obviously CCU. Have we got any indication at all, Duncan, when we're likely to see an overhaul of the CCU interface, or have we got to wait until it makes its way to Google TV next year?
I think it's Google TV time. Or maybe a month or two before, before it goes onto there. I think that's going to be their relaunch of a sort, and they're going to really start pushing things when that goes there. But I think it really needs a remap as soon as possible, just to get things going. It's not good there at all now. It's
just so slow, isn't it? When, if anybody that's been collecting all the pro games, that you have this huge horizontal bar. I mean, it's almost a complete campaign of Assassin's Creed Odyssey to get from one end of it to the other.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're going to see Cloud Gaming Extreme showed off yesterday with their video, the amount of time it's actually taken for it to load up on the Chromecast now is basically the time you load up on Chromecast. Xbox One X or Xbox Series X is actually into basically the game, the time it actually just loads up now. So they definitely need to do something about that to speed that up.
I can understand at one end, it's a little bit like, trying to cater for an older console. I mean, if we kind of bring it to the console arena as a metaphor, because in essence, you're dealing now with old kit, aren't you? It's probably got very limited memory. It's got to download all those 4K sized JPEGs of all the thumbnails and all the background screens and everything, for you to then go and find a game and load it up. Whereas with something like the new Google TV, which has got more RAM, it's got faster processor, it can access it more quickly, and it can probably access it remotely as well. So you can, on the one hand, you can understand why it's taking so long, but from a user perspective, it's just kind of time for a real brush and wash up, isn't it?
Absolutely, and the more games that go on there, things just seem to get more slower and less easy to navigate. Because as we said, the beauty with cloud gaming is if one of your old games in your library has had a big update, you can actually just load it up straight away. You don't have to download it. Yeah. But the way the user interface is at the moment on the Chromecast Ultra, it's like I said, it takes about 5 minutes to get from one end to the other because it's just so long and jaggy, and it's just really, it's not really that nice.
It's a shame because once you literally connect up with the game, it's you're in. And they're clearly using really fast SSDs. So, we've seen with Destiny, you can still a really fast experience making your way around. It's just the time now it gets from firing up Stadia. I'll be honest, I've actually taken to taking more time playing on Chrome on my browser than I do using the CCU, just because of the experience. But actually playing on the CCU is so much nicer when you're in the game.
I know it's just mind-boggling that it's when Stadia first launched. I forget all past the first couple of weeks when we're into the proper sort of period. It was absolutely a joy just to go through the Chromecast. It was nice because there wasn't that many games you can go like that. But as the games have just got there, it's just got worse and worse and worse. Yeah. And it is so much easier just bringing it up on in the browser, even though there's no search bar, where there's the search bar, and you need the search bar for the Chromecast as well now, just to speed things up.
It's all coming, my friend. I promise you. The great gods of Google, who contact me regularly just to troll me, have informed me that there are many good things are coming. So this was, for me anyway, there were two big highlights of the week in terms of gaming. This was one of them, and I'm so pleased, because you never know what you're going to get with these updates. But I've been playing it since launch. In fact, I streamed it a couple of times. Last night, and I'm super duper impressed with what's been going down. We've already covered this. You haven't had time to play it because you've been playing with your brand new baby and Valhalla.
Yeah, but I have dug into the first mission in this.
You did say. Sorry.
I got to, I don't think this is majorly spoilerish. I got to the first settlement. I did the first proper thing, and there's like the settlement, and you need, what's his face again? And
Varix. No, we know it's Varix because he's mentioned elsewhere. I don't know if you know this. I don't know this, Duncan. So this isn't even, a spoiler. I mean, I don't know. But the one thing that I loved about Varix back in Destiny 1 was that it opened up Prison of Elders, which I still think to this day is just one of the best PvE experiences ever rolled out in Destiny. And the minute I saw little Varix with his 18 arms, I thought, oh no, please give us Prison of Elders back. Do you know if it's coming back or not?
I don't know if it's coming back or not, but I think there's a good possibility if we're going to whisper like this, because
I don't want others to know about it. If you know, I don't want to spoil it. But if there's Prison of Elders, I'll be such a happy chappy.
I think there's going to be a fair chance it's going to come back. Aren't they redoing all the Destiny content, the original Destiny content, and you're going to put it back into the game?
Now I'm excited. I can't wait to go play.
No.
It is good though. It's great. I mean, they've done a really cracking job. You can tell they're lining it up for the next gen consoles, and of course, we don't need to worry about updates on Stadia for next gen because it will just happen. But amazing stuff. So if you haven't, I highly recommend picking up Beyond Light, which is the update. It's campaign and raid and extra sort of sizzling stuff, and you can play it without. Oh, that's another point, Dunk, isn't it?
Yep.
Which you're about to. You know exactly where I'm going. Something happens on the 19th of November, doesn't it, as far as Destiny and Stadia is concerned?
No, I thought you were going to. That was not where I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to do what we were discussing about the classes. What happens if you unlock the class in one?
No, that's another thing altogether. And I still don't know the answer. What Duncan's talking about is that you may or may not know that in Beyond Light, there's a new subclass called Stasis, which you've just seen it there in the video, and you basically freeze people. It's actually pretty cool. But playing it on my daughter's account, she doesn't have Beyond Light. There didn't seem to be an obvious way to unlock it. So I don't know whether that subclass only exists if you have actually paid for Beyond Light. Maybe you guys in the chat know this. That's not news. It's just an observation that we were talking about earlier. No, I was specifically talking about what happens because, of course, Destiny 2, with all of its seasons, was the big launch game for Stadia back in November of 2019. Yeah. And rightly so, because it was a massive player base for Destiny, and to give you all of Destiny and all the seasons was $100 and something worth over the period, so it was well worth a shout. But that's coming to an end on November 19th, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Except, and this people may not realize this, if you've already claimed it as a pro game up until then, you still get to play it. You just don't get the free seasons or Beyond Light. So in essence, you're getting the free version of Stadia that's free everywhere else. Have they said, Duncan, whether it will become free to play for everybody else?
I'm going to say no. It is not going to be free to play. It hasn't. I don't think it's been 100% confirmed. Or you're going to have to buy some version of Destiny to play it. If you, I'm going to say if you don't have a pro card, just to play it now, you're going to have to buy some version of it. So I really hope they do chuck a free version out there somewhere, but it just becomes all. What's the word? Messy if they do that.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the older content has been deprecated now, so you can't play a lot of the original campaigns anymore. Anyway, even if you've got the new light, the free version as was. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I need to do some research from a non-pro person's perspective and find out. I'll report back to you on that. But I do, for 30 quid, whatever it is, $35, highly recommend it. I paid for the deluxe version because it comes with a year's worth of seasons, which only works out to about $5 a month, frankly, and it's a saving. So for someone that likes Destiny, I thought it was pretty cool. So there you go. Anyway, plugging away there on the old Destiny. I know a lot of people, interestingly, a lot of people that weren't that interested in Destiny have come to it because of Stadia, and actually now have become as almost addicted as I am.
Yep.
So it's it's done its job.
Okay, just one shout out here, Destiny here. With Destiny 2, one of the big complaints was the tutorials and working out what to do. There seems to be a lot of positive feedback with this Beyond Light, and they seem to have maybe fixed that, and it's a bit more easier to get into than it was before. So you can work out what you're meant to be doing to start off with. So if you haven't played Destiny, it could be a good chance or a good time to actually jump into this.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. It was always the major issue with Destiny, and it's such a shame because it is an amazing game. Those that managed to find their way through that problem, and clearly it was a problem because, as you've rightly just said, Destiny have fixed it. You don't fix things that ain't broke, do you? So it's good to see that they've done that now. It's just a real shame that during the year that everybody had it for free, you didn't have that option. So, it's a game that you possibly overlooked. When actually it could well have been one of your favorite games of all time, as it is for those of us that fortunately came to it a lot earlier and had the progression to kind of extract everything from it. Right, let's dip back into our Stadia Source Lucky Dip bag, see what else we've got going on. So there was another Avengers patch. We had a big one just recently, Duncan, didn't we?
We did indeed. Are we going to talk about the Avengers news as well, or shall we skip over that bit?
Yeah, why is it not very good?
Where it's cost them an absolute fortune, and it's been a bit of a massive flop. Or should we?
Oh, what the game has, or the patch?
Yeah, the game.
Well, I'm not. I'm turning into a bit of a moaning mini episode, but it was not really. I'm not hugely surprised. I've said it all along. I'm as honest as you are, and I call a spade, and I'd said while I was playing it, I wasn't that impressed with it. And the amount of people who have said recently that I've heard say, actually, once I'd finished it, I put it away. I wasn't interested in it, which is a shame because I think it was you that said it would be almost like Destiny with loads of new content coming up all the time and different bits and pieces, but they just seem to have missed the mark with it.
Yeah, there's something weird going on. I think we're going to get a relaunch of it. We'll always talk about relaunches and things for the next gen, and I would not be surprised if it gets a big, massive price cut when it goes to the next gen consoles, just to start this all over again. But yeah, a big patch here anyway. I actually haven't I was really enjoying Destiny, but I just or not Destiny, Avengers. And but then I have I'm worse than you. I haven't even completed it. We were playing it together, and it just passed me by because there was not a big thing to drag me into it. No. But I am going to give it a go again in the future. I think it just needs to settle down.
Yeah, no, I will as well. And it's there, it's paid for, it ain't going anywhere. And it certainly won't be a pro game in a year soon. So I'll pick it up again. But there's so many great stuff around at the moment. This I'm really looking forward to, Outcasters. Now, there was meant to be a big announcement yesterday, or was it that there's the new...
That's your big announcement.
All right, so it's another aspect of the game, a new team battle.
Yep.
But we still don't know when it's coming out, but we're kind of thinking it's going to be this month. So we kind of think it might be a treat towards the 19th, I guess. Is that what we think?
Yep, I think we may be getting it next week with the anniversary. I think that's, if it's not next week, it has to be the 1st of December, because I said this year. Sorry, I'm assuming it's a pro game. I think we're both in agreement. It's going to be a pro game. It's not guaranteed it's a pro game, but I think we're feeling about this. So
yeah, I agree. I think it's 100% a pro game. I think any first party game is going to be a pro game as far as Stadia is concerned. It does look good. The only thing, again, a bit negative, oh God, is I wish that you could play with more people, but it looks fascinating. Eddie did a really good breakdown of I think he probably may even have done one of this, or will be doing one of this, of kind of dissecting what you can see, because you've only got the stuff that we see in the video to understand what's going on. But I'm convinced it's going to be good fun, and graphically I love it. I love that kind of pseudo real cartoon look. Exciting.
I'm going to say no comment.
Always a good idea. Yes, yes. Play the politician. It seems to be working for some.
Yes. Well, I actually, like I said, I get my opinions. I don't. When I first saw it, if we take out the reaction, it was splash damage. I thought it looked all right. The more I'm actually seeing and hearing about it, I'm getting not as convinced about the game.
We shall see. Codemasters. Now, Codemasters have Formula One on Stadia. And what else have they got on Stadia? I'm sure they've got more than one game.
They've got Grid as well.
Grid, yeah. But now they've been purchased by Take-Two, or in the process of being purchased by Take-Two. Certainly an agreement to formally take them over. Just shy of $1 billion, 750 odd million pounds. Adding it to the behemoth that is Take-Two. Interesting purchase, Duncan. I mean, their stuff tends to be more sort of RPG, doesn't it? So why do you think they've decided to make this move?
Okay. The reason why they went for this move is to diversify their lineup so that they can get more different types of games. They've actually said that in there. They're just trying to just make things a bit easier for themselves, and Codemasters put out game after game after game after game. As we've seen with this, the Avengers news, one game can actually tank your whole thing. So this makes sense for both parties. So they've got a regular content coming from Codemasters, plus it diversifies their lineup, and it reduces the risk. If we're going in for the Stadia mode here, this was a perfect studio for Stadia to go after. I would also say it would have been the perfect studio for Amazon to go after. So this isn't me picking on just Stadia. And this isn't... Racing games are a staple for basically every single console out there. On PlayStation, you've got Gran Turismo, and Xbox, you've got the Forza series of games. This would have been really, really interesting if either Amazon or Google stepped up, because this would say, yes, we're really here to shake the market up. I'm a little concerned that Take-Two have got Codemasters from a Stadia perspective, because of the way the Take-Two boss is words towards cloud gaming in particular. But from a Codemasters perspective and a Take-Two, it's 2K and it's 2K, whatever.
There's also
Take-Two. Yeah.
Take Two. There's almost a feeding frenzy going on out there at the moment, isn't there? You know, if you were, I mean, any sizable, and of course, there's a really throwing it completely sideways. What's happened this week, of course, is that with all of the great news about a possible vaccine rollout, the markets have exploded. All the big investors have taken all their stock away from the tech shares to purchase all of those stocks that have been hyper deflated, such as travel companies and restaurant chains and so on. So all of a sudden, all the tech shares have become even more tantalizing. So I wouldn't mind betting that we're going to suddenly see some huge takeovers in the coming days, because these are suddenly, but there's 20, 30, 40, even 50% reduction on some stocks. While they're taking all their money and investing it elsewhere.
Absolutely. We've already seen it this year as well. A couple of months ago, or is it weeks ago? Because everything's just rolling in still.
Time has lost its complete meaning since March.
Bethesda and Xbox really started kicking that off, and if you can go back further, Sony buying Insomniac Games, who make the Spider-Man series. There's just a whole big spate of big publishers and developers getting gobbled up by the even bigger ones, and we know this is going to continue on. For the smaller developers and publishers, this is good news because it's going to take the risk out. But we are going to see these big, massive companies going here, and they're going to have massive say on how things can actually go going forward. What me and you have been talking about with Ubisoft, the amount of sway they have with the cloud gaming companies going forward. They're using their influence there to just get their own way and getting Ubisoft Plus onto the cloud services for nothing, basically, just because they're just using their influence.
Yeah. No, we're absolutely right. You're literally seeing these huge empires emerging from either acquisition or just. I mean, you've got Take-Two are able. I think we did a piece last night. Clive did a piece last night on Generation X, talking about how Strauss, forget his surname, the guy that basically runs Take-Two, said, "Now we're not interested in subscription models, but they're so big and they have such a powerful stock of franchises, they don't need to fall into that space. There are and can be outfits that will just continue to sell their games in the same way they always have, albeit micropayments and online worlds and all that kind of stuff." So fascinating times. Right, I think we're probably getting towards, we kind of covered this one off. This again was another rollout to the browser, the Stadia browser, the Chrome browser, which gives you a bit more information about people's profiles, Duncan, and tells you what games they've been playing, what achievements they've had and stuff. I've just I lost the internet. Are we still live? It don't matter none, because I'd kind of got to the end of that anyway. You can still hear me, can't you? If you can hear me, so can the world. So that's all fine. But anyway, so that's all that. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover off on the news side?
We did have the games coming out this week as well, with the Assassin's Creed Valhalla coming out. We've got games coming tomorrow which have completely slipped my mind. They will come to me in a second, but we have games coming tomorrow as well. If you give me 2 seconds, I will double check.
Is it not? It's not the Japanese one, is it, coming tomorrow? The Japanese sword fighting thingy.
Well, you talk about Sekiro?
No, that's already happened.
Here, yes. I'm just double checking here. Tomorrow we have got the big one tomorrow, and that is Just Dance 2021, and Family Feud Family Feud's coming tomorrow. It's next week. I'm thinking about with Pac-Man.
Yes. Of course, the only other piece of news that I wanted to cover off was that game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which was the one game I really, really wanted this year, and you've gone out and bought it on your sexy Xbox. Yeah, are you enjoying it? Because I absolutely love it.
I was resisting. I was resisting buying it. I was wanting to wait for Uplay or Ubisoft Plus on Stadia. I was going to play it in GeForce Now. I couldn't resist after just seeing all the hype about it. And I think I can say this. I haven't left the main area or the first area yet.
It's no need, is there? There's so much to do there.
Yeah. I have only got, I've done a couple of synchronizations in that area, and I've done, it's not a spoiler because it was in I've done the first like vision quest stuff or whatever the way they're going to do it, where you're hallucinating, you get all drugged up and all that. So
Friday night out for you, mate.
Yeah.
He's actually out quite easy. Total guys, I'm joking.
Yes, I know. It's I see it in the chat. I'm not sure if we want to tackle this debate or not, because it has been a very, very hot button subject about what it being on Stadia at 30 FPS. Do we want to go down that route?
Which one, Valhalla? Yeah, that's a shocker. I have to say that is a shocker. I don't know if that has anything to do with a patch coming up for Ubisoft Plus, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
because it may be an older version of the game. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses, but it was a shocker.
It wasn't for me.
You weren't shocked?
No, on Twitter, I was asked yesterday or about 2 days before what I expected Valhalla to be, and I said it's going to be 4K-ish and 30 FPS. It's not going to be 60.
Right, okay.
And the 1080 bit didn't really shock me either. It's also 1080 and 30 FPS. That didn't shock me either, because as Adam has said of Stadia Stores, he does all the pixel counting and all that sort of carry on. If a game is 30 FPS and if an Ubisoft game is 30 FPS in 4K mode, the chances are it's going to be 30 FPS. 30 FPS, that's a new way of term. 30 FPS on 1080 as well. So I personally believe there should be an unlocked mode, an unlocked frame mode on Stadia now. So when Generation 2 comes, you don't have to worry about going in and patching it, because as you say, they're going to have to go in and patch it. With the other cloud services like GeForce Now and Luna, you won't have to go in to patch it, because they are actually doing it PC based, and you can actually go in and do the settings. So it's
okay. Yeah. I mean, it is. It's quite a beefy game. I mean, it's pushing my PC to the absolute limits. Anyway, and I think on GeForce is obviously only 1080p. I don't know if it's 60 or 30 on GeForce.
You can tweak it like Luna. So if you want the 60 FPS, you can. I think the frustrating thing for everybody, and it is 4K 60 FPS on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X as well. Again, I'm going to say this. I have been on record in this. The 4K thing does not bother me in the slightest.
No.
It's a 60 FPS.
Yeah, I know from your perspective, it's not the 1080 bit. It's the 60 bit. That's the bit that gets up your craw, isn't it? Because I know you absolutely. I hear what you're saying. I've been playing Destiny 2 on PlayStation, which is 30 frames per second. And then when you come across, but 4K or 1440, one of the two. But when you come across to Stadia, it's 60 frames per second. And it's just, it just feels so more alive and more fresh.
Yeah, that is exactly the point. It is 1080, 60 FPS on Stadia, but it's 1080 turned up to the max, and it's 60 FPS, and that feels and looks better than it does on the current gen, or what kind? That's current gen, the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5.
Current gen, isn't it? But soon to be not. In fact, I think tomorrow it comes to the States. So it's the 12th, isn't it? 12th tomorrow. So officially tomorrow, the next gen is the current gen. as far as the PS5, and as far as the Xbox is concerned, the next gen is the current gen, because as of yesterday, for me, I've got to wait another week. Are you Sony? What the point, huh? But there you go. Who knows? I have no idea. It's sat in a warehouse in Bognor Regis waiting to come to my house. I have no idea why I've got to wait another week. I absolutely believe that we are going to see updates. If they're not already happening, they're going to be starting to happen shortly with Stadia. I'm convinced of that. You know, I mean, this is a tech that they've been, you know, we're talking about current gen consoles that have been out there for 5 years, and Stadia's been out there for a year. With all that investment in hardware. So, you know, it's going to happen over the next 12 months. I'm convinced of it. In the meantime, you've still got all the advantages of not having to download the darn thing, you know, relatively, if you can get past the CCU, relatively fast uploading and so on and so forth. So it has its benefits. But I do hear you. Yeah, Jem says there are people in the warehouse playing on my PS5. What is it, Jem? Get out there and sort them out, boy. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Go on.
I wanted to touch slightly a bit more in this, if that's okay, just to clarify my points.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Twitter doesn't come off the best. I do not believe Stadia has it in the tank that they can run 4K 60 FPS at this moment in time on their current generation of hardware. That doesn't mean it's not going to come down the line. If we want 60 FPS, I think it would have to be a sub 4K one, and it would be 60 FPS that way. I don't think it's anything. Again, I'm not a big worrier about if it's 4K or not, as we can see with the Destiny thing. Stadia, one of Stadia's issues they did at the start was to actually put that 10.4, 10.6 teraflops of power, and people expected that's all they're going to have for gaming. They are not just using that for gaming, they're using that for other things behind the scenes as well. So do not look into the power thing, as they should be running it. More or less, Stadia is on par with the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, but the difference is they have an SSD, so it's a souped up
Campbell's cup of soup.
Yeah,
but it's not just that. They should be able to use distributed computing as well. They've always talked about being able to take 6, 7, 10 blades and link them together to give you 10 times the power. I've not seen that on any game to date. Have you?
Nope, I haven't. Unless it's there's only a couple of games out there which you would think 100% that is a lot better on Stadia than it is in other things prior to this next generation. Yes, one of them is the Division 2. I think that is they've put time, effort, and money into that to make that super duper. But most of the other games
it's well optimized.
It's well optimized. Most of the other games are in and around what the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro are.
And that brings us back to the question that Brandon raised just now, which I think is worth just mentioning. I can't find it. It's in there somewhere. Which was, where is Ubisoft Plus on Stadia? Because, you know, you've mentioned Division 2. I fired up Breakpoint. Breakpoint, by the way, has had an update. If you didn't know this, guys and girls, if you go to Breakpoint, that's had an update on Stadia. It looks absolutely brilliant. Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, all the stuff is there right now, waiting to flick it on. Where is it, Dunk? What's going on? I know there was an FAQ. You ran this on Cloudy. You ran it as a not as an opinion piece. I mean, you purely put it as it is, which is, if you read it verbatim, it seems to state that Luna getting the Ubisoft channel as a beta would also be the case with Stadia. But that day has come and gone, and we've still got no sign of Ubisoft Plus.
I have a horrible feeling if we don't get it next week, I think we're going to get it in the middle of December for naughty reasons.
Okay.
as we've been discussing, there 2 big games have dropped on Stadia over the last couple of weeks, belonging to Ubisoft, and Watch Dogs Legion and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And we know a number of people in the community have stumped up the money and they have bought them. I have a feeling they may be waiting until Immortals Phoenix Rising. Hopefully I've got that right.
Sell that. 2 weeks later, bring out Ubisoft Plus. Oh God, I hope not, mate.
I really hope that's not the case. I would hope
it makes sense, doesn't it? Because that's the 3rd of December, isn't it? The launch date on Stadia everywhere else as well is the 3rd of December. Well, you know, I mean, it's up to folk, isn't it? If you want to buy it, that is absolutely why I subscribed to Ubisoft Plus and I didn't buy the game elsewhere, because I know it is going to come to Stadia. It's just when. I'm not paying for it twice.
Yeah, there's a couple of Dark Bite Prime. There's a couple of games. Sorry, Dark Bite Prime brings up Jedi Fallen Order. I think that's going to be a test game. And the other test game, I also think, this is about the 60 FPS. The other test game, I think, is going to be Immortal Phoenix Rising, because they have actually just released. We've seen some footage drop about the PlayStation 5, and they're actually showing a performance mode and a quality mode, and the performance mode's hitting the 60 FPS. So I think they could be 2 good games to actually test. And I was wrong regarding Sekiro. I was worried about Sekiro not being 60 FPS, and I was wrong, which I'm really, really happy about. So that is a great news in that front. So hopefully they can push that Jedi Fallen Order up to 60 FPS, because I have actually been playing that on the Xbox, and that's really, really good there.
That's all exciting stuff, isn't it? We'll lump that under What's Up, Doc, and Ask Cloudy. We'll do all of that under one thing, because you may have noticed tonight, folks, we're not doing our normal show. We're just going to do the news, which we've finished, and our little announcement, which we'll come on to now. But I may as well do this because we've just kind of done it.
What's up, Rokk?
So there you go. I tell you what's up. But we'll just wind back 10 minutes, mate. Can I, ladies and gentlemen, introduce you to our brand new co-host starting from next week? This amazing individual, and I mean that sincerely, and you're going to all agree with me as well, has actually made a little video which they would like to share. So if you can give me 1 second, I will just tee this up. Here we are. Where are we? Oh, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, from next week, our new host. Without any further ado, because I've now gone and lost it completely, so I can always count on me for the tech issues, can't you? Here we go. Let's bring it up.
No.
What?
No, never mind.
No.
You said you wanted to bring it up, and I'm going, no.
I wouldn't do anything naughty. Not like that. I'm not like you. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. It's not only, it is the one and only.
Oh, there's no sound. You need to do the you have to add the sound to it, Rokk.
Can you hear him?
No, you need to do when you're sharing the screen, you have to tick the wee box at the bottom.
I did. There wasn't one there. I'll bring him back. Oh, I've got it now. Can you hear him now?
Nope.
What about now?
I can't hear him.
Oh no, Ray.
Ray
says, hello everybody, it's me, Ray, the gaming cyborg. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Ray. I want to thank Duncan for inviting me to be on the show. I'm really excited. Sorry I couldn't be there today. I had a doctor's appointment, but I'm so humble. Well, he's a lovely guy. Rokk, Duncan, I love you guys. I can't wait to join the show next week. Bless him. Bless him. What a lovely guy.
Yes. And
I love Ray to pieces.
And he's playing a good game in the background as well. He's playing some Fortnite.
He is. He's playing Fortnite. I'm just assuming that's his son. So Ray is our new permanent co-host starting next week. Absolute gem of a guy, and there's another gem of a guy in the chat as well. We're so excited to have him. It's a real shame that Raph had to bail. I mean, he genuinely has huge amounts of family and work commitments, and that's totally understood. And we love him to pieces. But Ray was with us, as you know, a couple of weeks ago. Did a cracking job. I was already intending for asking Ray if he'll fill in when any one of us couldn't make a show. But as it happens, he's now coming to join us permanently, bless him. So next Wednesday, Stadia Rokks Live with, of course, Ray's review. Same format as always. So really looking forward to that. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes it. That is our big news. Our big announcement, and what a lovely frame to stop it on as well. Duncan got rid of it. I love that. Look at him, like his little face. He's such a great guy. So so looking forward to Ray joining us. Duncan, I've got nothing more to say. We've been to town and back on the news today. Is there anything else you wanted to cover off before we let our beautiful chat go?
Yeah, and just thank you all for joining us as per usual. And I'm going to tell you something funny. Before we started this show tonight, we said this was going to last 30 minutes at the most because we weren't sure how things were going to be. But guys, you should be amazing in the chat there. Keep chatting away. And we say this daily all the time. As soon as we start going on this, we just yap and yap and yap and yap and yap and yap.
It never stops. It absolutely doesn't. But it's been a great fun show. I've really enjoyed it tonight. I hope you guys have as well. Thank you very much for joining us. I would just like to wish you all a great week of gaming. And I hope we will see you. I'll see you. Well, we won't see you tomorrow, but you're doing some streaming tomorrow night, aren't you? Have you got a show tonight, Dunk? Have you got one of your community shows tonight?
No community shows tomorrow. I was going, what am I doing tomorrow? And I just realized I'm doing Lunacast tomorrow.
Lunacast, yeah, you're game streaming tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
it's going to be awful at it, so it's going to be entertaining anyway.
Which game? Have you decided which game you're going to stream yet?
I haven't as yet. It might be a surprise. It'll be a surprise for me anyway as well.
Oh, that's good. It's always good to have a surprise. And then, of course, where are we? Thursday and Friday, we've got Rockstars at Night, which will be a great fun one. Saturday, Cloudburst, which I love that show. Chase is in the chat. Thanks for joining us tonight, Chase. Just an amazing show. I think I saw Clive earlier as well. I hope Clive's still there. Just bringing some of the absolute best, the biggest legends in the community together. It was a dream come true to pull that together, and I'm just so humbled by it. It's been amazing. And then the whole thing starts again, the circle of life, but without little lion cubs, just ugly old gnarly lions like me. Right, Duncan, time to say goodbye. Say goodbye, Duncan.
Goodbye, Duncan.
Do you know, before I say goodbye, I was just looking to see if I have an outro. I don't have an outro for this one. So we'll just say goodbye and just sort of fade off into the distance. So yeah, goodbye, Duncan. Goodbye, Rokk. Goodbye, chat. Goodbye, everybody.